Hello everyone, my name is Ohad and welcome back to another video. As we all know, the Broken Fang operation made it to the last week and now we should try to figure out what are we going to do with our 100 stars. And obviously, what would be the most optimal investment we can all benefit from. Broken Fang will be gone by the end of April, as Valve officially stated, and I think it's very much likely to see a sale going on in about a week or two. Unfortunately, I got cold, so I would like to apologize for the audio in advance. If you are new to this channel, I welcome you to subscribe, leave a comment if you want to get in touch with me, and please check the description, there are a couple of useful links there. So I figured that the best way to talk about the Broken Fang as an investment would be to put everything on the line. In the past I used to pick only specific items that I felt would bring the most value to people, but there is no real reason why to focus only on just a few of them. It took me like 5 minutes to do that quick tier list sketch using Photoshop, and we're going to talk about everything that the Broken Fang has to offer. My criteria for this tier list would be long term, as a representative of good solid investments that we can trust to be reliable and continuously increasing in their value. Short term is a type of investment that would be the type of things that can generate you amazing profit, but holding them for too long can be a complete disaster. Not optimal would be a type of investment that should be profitable in my opinion, but it isn't worth the waiting compared to other possibilities. And the don't tier is kinda straightforward, just don't do it yourself. I originally wanted to call it brain dead, but I was wondering if that would be too aggressive, so we came up with just don't. Let's start with the most obvious one, the Broken Fang collections. Now, this year's operation is of course slightly different than the Shadowed Web. This time we get to choose our rewards, and accordingly the quantity of each item offered in the operation would not be equal to the rest. Why? Because people actually need to choose them. The trendy collection right now that is being chosen in large quantities is the Control collection, featuring the Op Fade, and we can clearly see that in the volumes and the relatively low prices of its skins. We can't really compare any of those skins to the previous operation, but one core principle we are relying on is that all of those collections will be discontinued, meaning they were meant to be rare and hard to obtain. It might be surprising for you guys to hear, but even 99% Fade Op is still far away from the price of a factory new AK-47 X-Ray or M4 Welcome to the Jungle. I do think that people prefer Ops more than any other weapon in game, but choosing any collection as your investment is something that cannot go wrong in the long run, and it should gradually keep on building up its worth. So for me, the Control collection still remains number one. Any other collection should do well, but I don't like the Ancient collection as much. I might get some mil-spec skins of the Control collection, but it would still be better off to wait for the first day of the sale to see how it behaved. If you wish to spend your stars on the collections, just be aware to the fact that you might not be able to repay for the Operation Pass because unboxing is a matter of luck. Moving on, let's talk about the Recoil sticker collection. I know that some of you guys got excited about it because of one particular sticker, and that's the UMP Gold. But I'm sorry to break it to you, the reason for buying it just because it looks like a penis with a pair of balls is stupid. So in Katowice 2019, we had a pro player that called himself Dick Stacy, and we had the same conversation back then. People got so excited to see the word Dick on a sticker, but guess what? That excitement eventually fades away and no one cares about that as much as they used to. However, we can all agree that the quantity of those items is quite low, and rightfully so. I wouldn't be too surprised if some random group of people will abuse it, but in my opinion, the Recoil stickers are not a worth investment. So just for the slight chance that someone might manipulate the stickers at some point, I'm placing it at the not optimal tier. With that being said, let's also talk just a little bit about the normal Broken Fang related stickers. Again, we can't really compare anything to the last operation because at that time, the entire Csgo market went crazy for no good reason, and as we all know, it crashed. A decent amount of people probably still holding on to those items. So claiming that the Broken Fang stickers should spike rapidly and consistently is absurd. I would remain loyal to my broad opinion about stickers, which is that they are relevant only at specific times, and when it's not in your favor, the volumes can literally go down to 0 sales per day, which ultimately blocks you from taking the next investment. I don't think any of you should commit to such an item that is so hard to predict, so instead of calling it a short term, I will go for not optimal to the Broken Fang stickers. In theory, yes, they should be profitable, but very quickly you can be dragged into a super long-term type of investment that you won't be able to get out of anytime soon unless some miraculous thing happens. Next on our list, the Broken Fang cases. Probably the go-to for most people who participated in the operation. It definitely seems to be the most stable item out there, and everyone can tell that if you purchase the pass right now and spend it all on the cases, you will make a decent profit without any hassle. So here's my take on that. If you have almost $0 on your wallet, you really better play it safe. Get the cases, wait for the day the operation ends, and sell at a peak. That's probably what 99% of the people who are watching this video right now should do. Anything else you can purchase with your stars is just a matter of luck, and that's not the proper route to take. Now, what if you want to invest some extra cash laying around in the cases? Well, first of all, you will be much better off waiting for the sale, and on that specific day, get yours. I don't think there is going to be a better option for you to get into that unless it's the first couple of days of a sale where people just want to cash out their operation pass money. However, and this is where I messed up last year, I'm still holding about 1000 shuttered web cases. It used to be profitable, but then Valve decided to roll out the fracture case that shares the exact same knives, and it just kinda got drifted away from the spotlight. It is in my belief that the next case Valve will release, it should contain the exact same pair of gloves that the Broken Fang case does, which then will make it less relevant, and there we go again with the same pattern. With that being said, I think it's 100% short-term type of investment, and you shouldn't hold for more than 2 months. You always need to be on the watch to get rid of them. Next on our list, I want to combine these things together because they're all kinda similar to each other. Let's talk about agents, graffitis, and patches. Again, people already hit me up before saying that the graffiti might be a good investment because the quantity is super low. Here is something you need to remember. The word quantity never can go by itself. It's supply and demand, quantity and demand. Don't disregard the demand. That's the important part. Agents are cool and everything, but they have a pretty clear ceiling. No matter how you flip it around, people would prefer to have actual skins that they can see than having a customized character. Unless Valve will release something provocative that is quite unlikely, I don't think we should expect agents to be super expensive. On top of that, you can use those patches to make your agents cool, but I still think that the foundations, the agents themselves, are not a worthy item to purchase in the eyes of a normal player, so let alone getting patches to customize the agent. Also about graffitis, they are just not as useful or meaningful to the players in game. You get to use them for about 50 times and then they are gone. You're literally losing your money just to flex on 9 people in competitive game that probably don't even care about it either. The most important question you can ask yourself is that, do you even know someone who purchases graffitis and he is happy about it? And as you guys can probably tell by now, don't do it to yourself. Last but not least, the one single item that I still haven't figured out completely is the Broken Fang Operation Pass. Now this pick is a bit more complex than you might think. Story time. The first video I ever made on this channel was about getting the Operation Hydro passes, which I'm still holding about 73 of them as I'm making this video. Through many videos I kept on mentioning that whenever I need a quick buck, I'm just getting rid of some of those because they're incredibly stable both in price and volume. In one of them I claimed that people manipulated this item and ever since it remained stable, but that's thanks to the manipulation. So as a result of that, someone hit me up on the comments saying that it wasn't necessarily what happened there, and if you will match the Operation Shattered Web Pass with the Operation Hydro Pass, you can easily tell that something strange happened on May 29th that caused this behavior. The question then is, what was it? There is a rumor that has been around for quite some time now that the Chinese community has its own Faceit-like platform for competitive tournaments, and part of that platform you are required to have 2 Operation coins to participate. Therefore, it cannot be something like the Berlin Viewer Pass, it has to be an Operation coin. And it seems to be like a real thing because I tried to sell a couple of Operation Hydro passes and track the Chinese profiles who bought them, and they all had 2 specific Operation coins. Unfortunately, they all refused my friend request and ignored my comments. So I tried to look around for Chinese gaming platforms and I've been suggested to check something called 5e Play. At first glance I saw that they mimic the style of an Operation Pass, so it felt like a good sign, but it was too difficult for me to translate and really understand what is it all about. Luckily, one of my viewers is also Chinese, which by the way, he has an amazing channel. I think right now he's traveling a bit, so he's doing some vlogs, which is wonderful. I obviously had to ask him about the site and what does he know about the passes. Here's the response I got. Apparently there is another rumor going on that if you will get an Operation Pass coin, you can whitelist your block account. And the second reason is that people just chose the passes as an investment. It sounds reasonable by now for the Chinese community to pick on something so aggressively. I think they know how to do it pretty well. He also mentioned that 5e Play and something called Perfect World Arena, which is the same company I tried to cover on my last video, are the two main platforms for Csgo competitive gaming, but none of them has that feature. So it seems like the Operation Broken Fang Pass still remains a mystery we would need to figure out by the end of April to really get the most out of it. If there is some truth to those rumors, the Operation Pass would be one of the best investments out there. I simply don't know how to classify that investment, so I welcome everyone to let me know in the comments below what do you think about this video, anything you heard about the Operation Passes that might be useful for the community, and that's all I have to say. If you are broke, get the cases and sell them. If you want to invest for the long run, any collection will do. Thank you so much for watching another video. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. Those videos are made for you and the community. I also invite you to join our Discord server, there is a link in the description. It's harder for me to maintain all of those things at once, but if more people will join, I will give it a proper attention and build a broader staff around it. I want to wish you all a wonderful weekend. Talk to you soon.